What would it cost to rebuild the White House today? Imagine walking up to the gates of the White House, the iconic home of the President of the United States. Its towering columns, grand gardens, and state-of-the-art security make it one of the most recognizable buildings in the world. But have you ever wondered, if someone were to build the White House from scratch today, how much would it actually cost? To understand the cost of building the White House today, we first need to go back in time to see how much it originally cost and how its price tag has evolved over the centuries. The original cost of the White House. Construction of the White House began in 1792 under the supervision of architect James Hoban. The initial budget for the building was estimated at $200,000, which was a significant amount at the time. However, as with most government projects, costs quickly exceeded the budget. By the time the White House was completed in 1800, the total expenditure had risen to $232,300. Adjusted for inflation, that sum would be roughly $7.6 million today. But here's the catch: the White House of 1800 was vastly different from the one we know now. It had just 2 floors, 36 rooms, and about 11,000 square feet of space. If we were to recreate this original version today, it would still be expensive, but relatively affordable compared to modern luxury mansions owned by billionaires. But the White House didn't stop there. Over the years, it has undergone multiple renovations, expansions, and security upgrades, each adding to the total cost of the structure we see today. The expansions and their costs. The Roosevelt expansion. One of the first major expansions to the White House occurred under Theodore Roosevelt in 1902. Roosevelt added the West Wing, which included office spaces for the president and his staff. The cost? $65,000 at the time, equivalent to $2.1 million today. This expansion changed the function of the White House forever, making it not just a residence but a full-fledged political headquarters. The Truman Reconstruction. The biggest transformation, however, came under President Harry Truman. By the late 1940s, a White House was literally falling apart. The floors sagged, the foundations were cracking, and it was deemed structurally unsound. Engineers warned that the building was at risk of imminent collapse. Truman's solution? A complete interior gutting of the White House. Steel girders were installed to reinforce the structure, 2 basement levels were created, and the number of rooms was nearly doubled. The price tag for this reconstruction? $5.4 million in the late 1940s, which would translate to about $61.5 million today. When you add up all the costs of renovations, expansions, and maintenance, we're already looking at a figure of $93.5 million. But that's just the beginning. The cost of security upgrades. The White House isn't just an ordinary mansion, it's one of the most secure buildings on the planet. Over the years, the U.S. government has spent hundreds of millions of dollars fortifying it against threats. Let's take a closer look at these security measures and their costs. The White House perimeter fence. In response to security threats, including numerous attempts by people to jump over the fence, the Secret Service doubled its height from 6.5 feet to 13 feet. But it's not just any ordinary fence, it's reinforced with blast-resistant steel, anchored 3 feet into the ground and capable of withstanding a vehicle attack. This high-tech fence alone cost a whopping $64 million. Bulletproof windows. The White House has 147 windows, and every single one of them is bulletproof. In 2011, a gunman opened fire on the White House, but the reinforced glass prevented the bullets from penetrating. The total cost for these windows? $1 million, one of the cheaper security upgrades. The Situation Room renovation. The Situation Room, where presidents make critical decisions during crisis, received a major renovation in 2023 under President Biden. The revamp, costing $50 million, included new computers, faster servers, improved audio-visual systems, and sustainably sourced wooden walls. Underground tunnels and escape routes. While officially there's only one confirmed underground bunker beneath the East Wing, the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, there are long-standing rumors about a labyrinth of secret tunnels beneath Washington, D.C. These tunnels are believed to connect the White House to the Pentagon, the Treasury Building, and other secure locations. The most recent addition to this underground system, allegedly completed in 2010, is said to have cost around $376 million. Whether or not these tunnels exist, we know for certain that a comprehensive underground security system would be a necessity if a new White House were to be built today. The White House is not just a workplace, it's also a home. Over the years, various presidents have added luxurious amenities: a private bowling alley added by Nixon, an outdoor heated pool installed by Ford, a 42-seat movie theater renovated by Franklin Roosevelt, tennis courts ordered by Teddy Roosevelt. If all these were to be rebuilt today, their combined cost would be around $1.1 million. One of the most iconic areas of the White House, the Rose Garden, has seen multiple renovations. The most recent renovation under Melania Trump in 2020 cost $3.4 million. If we were to completely rebuild the Rose Garden from scratch, including landscaping, walkways, and irrigation systems, it could cost upwards of $10 million, with an additional $1 million per year for maintenance. So after all these calculations, how much would it cost to build a modern replica of the White House today? Back in 2017, Zillow conducted an estimate and concluded that the White House, with all its modern amenities and security features, would be valued at $397 million. But that was before inflation. Adjusted for 2024, the estimated cost to construct a new White House from scratch would be approximately $500 million. To put this into perspective, if you wanted to save up for a 20% down payment on a brand new White House, you'd have to skip breakfast every day for the next 18,000 years. The White House is more than just a building, it's a symbol of power, security, and history. Over the past 2 centuries, it has evolved from a modest executive mansion to one of the most fortified residences in the world. While it started with a construction cost of $232,300, today building a White House of equivalent grandeur, security, and history would cost nothing short of $500 million. So the next time you look at the White House, just remember, it's not just a home. It's an engineering marvel, a political hub, and a fortress, all wrapped into one. And that, my friends, does not come cheap.